Evening, friends, and welcome to tonight's review. As you see, I've already poured myself a glass. As I find with whiskey, you don't really need to pour because there's no immediate presentation thing like beer. It gives me a little bit of time to go and nose things out a little bit and think things through. So today, we're going to be reviewing Evan Williams 1783 small batch sour mash Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. That's 86 proof right there. Now this is from the old Evan Williams distillery. I'm not sure, but I think it's part of Heaven's Hill. Somebody could correct me on that. It's very difficult to go and see where all the various distilleries are linked up. Now this was ostensibly on sale at the liquor store, and it was recommended to me by a guy one of the clerks I fairly trust. I know he's supposed to be selling stuff, but he kind of knows what I like. And it was on sale for about $22. I go online and I find that in the mainland this is like a sub $20 whiskey, all the way down to about $11 in Kentucky itself. But at least the review says that for a fairly bargain whiskey, the mid-low shelf, not the bottom shelf, not the mid shelf, but sort of that fourth one in between the two. Now the color is a pretty dark orange. There's no age statement on this bottle. They used to have an age statement of about 8 years, but they removed that because they're probably not doing 8 years minimum. Some vanilla, oak, of course corn. But unfortunately there's a slight solvent hint to it that I find kind of off-putting and overwhelms my senses there. You can smell that there's interesting things going on there with sort of a vanilla oakiness. But then that solvent sort of smell just kind of wipes it out immediately. So, yeah. The nose isn't anything all that interesting. It smells like bourbon should. Not really hints of the more delicate things. Despite the solvent note, it doesn't really drink all that hot, thankfully. So it's still fairly balanced on the palate. It's fairly thick on the leggings, too. It kind of hangs there. Primary thing that hits me in the front is, of course, corn, followed by oak. And as it expands in your mouth, there's a very caramel feeling to it. Sort of like that parched corn thing, where you have that, that caramelized corn sugar flavor. Very sweet on the front, the middle. The finish is pretty dry. Now that I have it in my mouth, I'm sniffing it. Probably because I also over-poured it a little bit, so it was overwhelming. I can get hints of citrus. There's also hints of citrus in the finish, or it's in the mid palate. Let me try again here. Yeah, mid palate to finish is citrus, along with a slight burnt sugar. But overall, a sort of woodiness and caramel sort of feel dominating from beginning to finish, whether sweet or dry. In short, like I said, it tastes like bourbon. Nothing really stands out like, this is a really interesting taste note. These are all taste notes that it does very well. It's not offensive to the tongue, like, say, a bottom shelf would be. Though I find the finish a little bit. I don't like the lingering part of that finish there. Which is not really an off tone, but it's sort of just bitter without any other flavor to it. So, would I recommend this? I would not recommend this at the price point I got it at. It's kind of a rip-off at the price point I got at. There's higher quality bourbons that you can get in Hawaii for around the same price, or just a little bit higher. For example, the Elijah Craig that I got was about only $4 more expensive than this, and just another 2 tiers up. As it is, if you're in Kentucky and this is $11, and you're looking for something that's a good mixer, or a good non-thinking drink, or something to just drink because you don't want to think, yeah, I can see it. It's not offensive, and it's pretty much a bourbon. So am I going to get it again? Probably not. There's other bourbons that I would drink that are in the same price point here in Hawaii that I find a lot better. So, Evan Williams, 1783. If you can find it at Kentucky price point, get it. Give it to people who don't really know their bourbon, or just want something to drink, or use it in mixers. If you're in Hawaii and it's costing $10 more than it costs in Kentucky, no way, dude. Cheers.